How to play the Flop Cbet line button versus big blind. Our first video here in our series, how to play single spot in position PFR. We're going to be focusing, of course, on the button versus big blind formation. In this video, we're going to be discussing or learning together here. First, bet sizing heuristics for the Flop Cbet node, and then later hand class frequency heuristics for those bet sizes. So I already filtered here for the spot, as you can see. We open from the button, get called by the big blind, villain checks to us on the flop. We see here that we are c-betting the spot 62% of the time. Always recall that these exact frequencies, they're going to depend on the pre-flop ranges that you use, the rig structure, the bet size that you use post-flop, all that stuff. Okay, well, 62 is the pack of sims that I have here, 62%. And then the bet sizings, we can use here hand to note function to see the bet sizings. We see that we use overwhelmingly more often the small size. The small size is by far the one we're going to use the most. So out of the 40K hands that we have, 26K went into the small size. So 65% of our betting volume comes with the small size on the flop. So by far the most used one. Then next we have the 1.2x size being used decently often. That's 21% of our betting volume. And lastly, we have the 2/3 sizing, which is not being used much, but still comes up at 15% of our betting volume. I realized I didn't show the math here. So 65% betting volume for the small size, 21 for the 1.2x, and 15 for the intermediate 2/3 size. So let's learn bet sizing frequency here, bet sizing heuristics to know on which boards we're going to use these sizes. And since we're using the small size in 65% of boards, let's just figure out the frequency, the bet sizing heuristics for when we should use the 1.2 and for when you should use the 2/3. That's the easiest way to go about this. So when we click on the 1.2x bet sizing, we can see the patterns of which board textures we should be using this bet sizing. So you see here 10-8-5, we see Queen 9-7, we see Queen 10-5 two-tone, 10-9-3 two-tone, Queen 10-5, 10-7-5, 10-9-3, King 9-6, Queen 10-6 two-tone, Queen 10-7 two-tone, King 9-6 rainbow, Queen Jack 6, King 10-4 two-tone, Queen 10-6 two-tone. So the pattern here, guys, is really clear. And if you guys have studied with solvers, you're going to know this. So bet sizing heuristics for button versus big blind flop Cbet node. In the 1.2x size, 1.2x spot size, which are the board textures you're going to be using this? Well, first of all, something like medium, low two-tone boards. So medium, low two-tone boards are classic boards where you should be using the 1.2x size. Okay, so this is like 10-9x, 10-8x, 10-7x two-tone, 9-8x. Let's put here 9-8x, 9-7x, 9-6x two-tone. Okay, so these types of boards, you should be using the 1.2x size. So these are boards that do not contain a straight. Okay, do not contain a straight. You should also be using them on any double Broadway two-tone board. Double Broadway two-tone boards, you should always use the 1.2x size as the one size highest TV strategy on the flop. Double Broadway two-tone. So this is like Broadway, low. Okay, Broadway, low. You're gonna have like King, Queen 7 two-tone. You're gonna have like Ace, Jack 8 two-tone. You're gonna have stuff like Queen 10-5 two-tone that we saw before. You're gonna have stuff like Jack 10-6 two-tone. You're gonna have stuff like Ace, Jack 5 two-tone. All of those should be 1.2x or check. And here you also have the Ace-X double Broadway rainbow. So Ace-X double Broadway rainbow also uses this bet sizing. So we're talking about Ace Queen 8 rainbow, Ace King 7 rainbow, Ace Jack 3 rainbow. On those, you should also use the 1.2x size as the one size. The double Broadway non-ASAX rainbow, you go small size, high frequency. Okay, so here it's only ASAX double Broadway rainbow. If it's rainbow, it has to be ASAX double Broadway for you to be able to size up. Okay, next we have the 67% pot board textures. Which ones are those? We're going to see that the pattern is also very clear. These are going to be mostly low boards with the straight possible. Low boards with the straight possible are really, really good to use this type of bet sizing. So we have here 10-9-8 rainbow. We have 10-6-3 two-tone. There's some overlap there, but mostly that one we're going to be sizing up. We're going to have 10-9-6 rainbow. 10-9-6 rainbow. We're going to have 10-8-7 two-tone. 10-8-7 two-tone. We're going to use that size as well. Queen Jack 8 suited. We're going to have King 9-8 two-tone. So King 9-8 two-tone. Jack 7-5 two-tone. Jack 9-6 two-tone. Jack 9-6, I actually even prefer the big bet or check, but 2/3 is also fine on that one. 8-5 deuce rainbow. 7-4-3. So we have a few different ideas here. So when would that be? Low boards with the straight, low connected rainbow, low semi-connected rainbow board. So low boards with the straight, you guys know this. 10-9-8, 10-9-7, 10-8-7. Right, 9-8-7, all of those we're going to use 67%. And this can be two-tone or rainbow, okay? And then low semi-connected rainbow boards, we're also going to use this. So we have something like 10-6-3 rainbow. We have something like 8-5 deuce rainbow. We have something like, I don't know, 8-6-4 rainbow. All of those we're going to use the 2/3 sizing. And we're also seeing a number of Jack high boards. I should say Jack high through King high semi-connected two-tone boards. Okay, so those are boards that contain a bunch of straight draws. So we're talking about like Jack 9-6 two-tone. We're talking about like King 9-8 two-tone. We're talking about Jack 7-5 two-tone. So those are the kind of like lots of straight draws, but no straights available. Lots of straight draws. Lots of possibilities here for straight draws, but not necessarily straight available. These ones are ranges not severely stronger than our opponent to go for the very large sizing, but it's the type of board texture where the small size does not generate too much indifference. And then the 30% pot sizing is what? Everything else. Everything else is going to go into the 30% sizing, right? So now that we figured out the bet sizing heuristics, we can start talking about some hand class frequency heuristics. Hand class frequency heuristics for the flop Cbet line. Let's start with these 2/3 boards. Let me think where to start. No, let's start with the double Broadway boards. Let's start with the 1.2x flop. Let's start with those hand class frequency heuristics for the 1.2x pot board textures. So for this, we're going to have to put up a filter here for those boards, and I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so I filtered for double Broadway two-tone boards very well. We were able to filter out most of the other boards, and now we're going to start with hand class frequency heuristics for these double Broadway two-tone boards. First place to start is with the 2-pair plus hands. So 2-pair plus, what is a hand class frequency heuristic for us to use with 2-pair plus on these boards? We're not going to have straights, so that was stupid. So hand class frequency heuristics for 2-pair plus, we can see that it's 90-10. So just a tiny amount of slow plays Let me put that on screen for you guys. 90-10 two pair plus here on those boards. Only a tiny amount of checks, but still it is something. All right, it is something here. We're checking the bottom two pair. Here we're checking the top set. Top set on those boards where you bet big is a significant heuristic. We might actually even be better off filtering specifically for the sets. I don't think we're going to be able to filter for the top set, but we're going to be able to see that. So let's take a look at sets specifically. So sets are checking back 9%. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't filter for the top set. Maybe we can do like this, aces and kings. Yeah, so now I see it goes up to 30%. So probably top set you slow play it about 40% of the time, and the other ones you barely slow play. So let's make that heuristic a bit more precise here. Let's say that top set, you're going to play 60-40. Okay, so you're going to slow play 40% of the time with your top set. Middle and bottom set, you just play pure bet. I think that's a pretty good heuristic here. Okay, and we can confirm that through some board textures. Let's take a look at ace, queen, jack. No, ace, queen, jack is triple broad. Ace, queen, 3. We saw this ace, queen, 3. Take a look. So pocket ace is betting 32, checking 67. Pocket queens is pure betting. Pocket threes is pure betting. So here we're betting 32% of the time. Let's take a look at another one. Ace, king, 3. Ace, king, 3. Ace is betting only 20%. Kings is pure betting. Threes is pure betting. So we should be checking even more than top set than I imagined. Ace, king, 9. We're checking 33%. Betting 32%. I'm sorry. Kings and nines pure betting. So middle and bottom set pure bet for sure. Let's see, king, queen, 3. King, queen, 3. Pocket kings, we're checking 22%, but we're never over betting. Pocket queens, we're pure betting. Pocket threes, we're pure betting. Let's see another two-tone one. King, jack, 7. King, jack, 7. Top set is betting 70%. Jacks is always betting. Sevens is always betting. King, jack, king, 10, 4, two-tone. Pocket kings. Yeah, this one is mixing way too many small bets. Queen, jack, queen, 10. Let's see, queen, 10, 7, two-tone. Pocket queens is betting 75%. Pocket 10 is always betting. Pocket 10 is always betting. So pretty clear here that middle and bottom set should always bet. The top set, it depends. If it's aces, it seems to me 40-60. Seems to me that if aces 40-60, you just bet 40%, check 60% of the time. If your top set is aces, you only bet 40% of the time. If not aces, then I would go up here. It should be something like 75-25 from what I saw. If the top set is not aces, you slow play 20%, 25%, 25 to 30%. Okay, so that seems to me like pretty good hand class frequency heuristic for the top set region. Let's take a look specifically now at two pair instead of a set. Let's take a look at specifically two pair. So two pair, 90-10. Okay. So two pair. So two pair, 90-10. There you go. We have our hand class frequency heuristic. Let's move on now to top pair because, well, we're not going to have trips and flushes or straights on these boards because they're two-tone, not paired. Let's take a look at over pair and top pair good kick here combined. Let's see. 90-10. So top pair, good kicker slash over pair. It's a 90-10 split. Very infrequent checks here with top pair, top kicker, good kicker in this spot. So we're checking some king queen on queen 10-7, some ace king on king queen 3, some ace king on king 10-4, some ace king on king queen 3, some ace king on ace 10-9. This might come as a surprise to a lot of you, but this is simply following the pillar of GTO, where you get to slow play the king a little bit, because on the next street your opponent is supposed to check with king highs. So you can see here, ace king, we are checking about 26% of the time if we're gonna play big better check. So top pair gonna kick in over pair 90-10 split. You could maybe, shift them to 100% depending on the circumstance, because this is not part of any of our buckets, right? 80-20, maybe you still play a bit more so that you can put in one of the buckets. But anyways, 90-10 is the frequency here. Let's take a look at top pair weak kicker now. Top pair weak kicker is surely gonna check way more. So take a look at that. Top pair weak kicker is a 40-60 split. So we only bet 40% of our weak top pairs. So 40-60 split here for our weak top pairs. We gotta be checking back those top pairs on those polarizing boards. So queen 7 on queen 10-5, queen 9 on queen 10-7, king 10 on king jack 7, king 9 on king jack 7, king 8 on king queen 3, king 4 on king queen 3. Okay, so a lot of checking with the top pair weak kicker region, as expected, right? It's a pretty polarizing situation. Now we get down to the middle pair region, and this might be a surprise to a lot of you, but middle pair is a non-negligible barrel in the spot. You can see it's a 25-75 split. 25-75 split for the middle pair region. Don't ask me why, but solver does bet those hands at some frequency. You get that 10-6 of diamonds, solver bets here sometimes. You get that ace-10 of clubs, solver's gonna bet it sometimes. 10-6 of hearts, solver is going to bet it. Queen 10-6 with the jack 10, solver is going to bet it. 10-8, 10-9, 10-9 here, 10-9 of clubs, pretty funny one. 10-7, look at that one. Jack 10, those ones are betting more with the smaller size, but you get the picture here. You are going to be betting a lot of the time, even with the middle pairs. Take a look at this, specifically the 1.2x. Specifically the 1.2x. 10-6 of diamonds, ace-10 of clubs, we already saw those. 10-9 of clubs, ace-10. Queen 6 of diamonds here, take a look at this. Queen 6 of diamonds. Ace queen of hearts here, take a look. Ace queen of hearts, queen 10. So for some reason, this might have to do with making villains draws indifferent or something like that. Solver does this. Solver does this. And if you want to be balanced, you're going to do it sometimes. Take a look at that. Some ace queen betting here. Let's take a look at that king jack 7. King jack 7. Take a look at this. Some queen jack, just betting here 20% of the time with the 1.2x sizing, right? Some jack 10 betting ace jack. Look at that ace jack of clubs and ace jack of hearts 40% of the time. Pretty crazy stuff, right? Pretty crazy stuff. What else we have here? We have ace queen 3. Let's take a look at ace queen 3. We have solver betting queen 6 of diamonds here, queen 4 of diamonds, queen 9 off. You see that queen 9 off, bet sometimes. Queen 10 off, bet sometimes. Solver does this. Solver does this. Ace king 9. Let's see, ace king 9. What's the solver do? King jack off, bets a little bit, 20% of the time. King 10 off, 25% of the time. You have king 8 of diamonds, king 7 of diamonds, king 6 of diamonds. Solver does bet sometimes. with those middle pairs. Okay, it seems that there is a pattern here with regards to the suits. You see here that having a heart or a club makes you want to bet here when you have the offsuit king. When you have the backdoor flush draw with the king, it also makes you want to bet sometimes. So middle pair here, about 25% bucket. In here, it's mostly when offsuit unblockers or backdoor flush draw when you're suited. That's basically it. Don't ask me, the computer does this. Then we're going to get into a class of hands that is nice to play on those boards, which is the low pockets. The low pockets should be present, and the low pair as well we can put in there. The low pockets and the low pair need to be present in your betting range. Take a look at that. Low pair and low pockets need to be in your betting range 34% of the time on average. So you're going to have to barrel with those hands. Okay, so take a look at this. With the bottom pair, it's a great heuristic to have. The bottom pair is even without the flush draw. We're seeing examples here with the flush draw, but we're going to see, like this one, examples without the flush draw. The bottom pair is a great multi-street bluff because it's going to have extremely good blockers towards your opponent's top range, blocking sets and two pairs. It has outs to improve against the top pairs and middle pairs that you're going to get called by. So and it has unblockers to the folding range. All right, so it's an amazing barrel. And those low pockets is the same thing. They have unblockers to folding range, and they still have equity. They can improve sometimes and stack your opponent. Okay, so let's filter specifically for each of those hand classes. And I want to show you guys specifically when you have low pockets, and it is deuces through fives. So deuces through fives should be quite present in your betting range. Take a look at that. When you have those deuces through fives, so let's put here deuces through fives, 44%, guys, 44.56. You can simplify this to the 50% bucket. Okay, 50% bucket, totally fine in my opinion to keep those hands. Okay, so 50-50 bucket. You're gonna see that you're gonna have to bomb with those pocket pairs. More often than not, you should use the ones that have the backdoor flush draw. Okay, so we could even refine this heuristic here to say that, hey, with the backdoor flush draw, you're gonna go a little bit up. Without it, you're gonna go a little bit down. Okay, so if you take a look here, ace king 9, you see that this one with the deuces, it even bets a bit more without it. So you see 77, 59, 40, 70, 70. Pocket threes, 70, 70, 53, 43, 67, 67. Pocket fours, 67, 67, 65, 66, 67, 54. Pocket fives, 77, 77, 70, 34, 42, 42. So you see quite a lot of betting with these low pockets. These low pockets are no joke. Pocket twos here, pocket fours, pocket fives. Yeah, so it's betting more with the backdoor flush draw overall for sure. This one here with the diamond now. So with the diamond betting way more. Without a diamond, not even betting. King, queen 3, I already saw, right? Queen 10, 7. Pocket twos with the spade, pocket threes with the spade, pocket fours with the spade. Right, so I would say you can make this even more precise if you say that, hey, with the backdoor flush draw, I'm gonna put them into like the 75-25 bucket. And then without the backdoor flush draw, I'm gonna put them in the 25-75 bucket. Okay, that to me is a very, very good heuristic. Those low pockets with the backdoor flush draw, 75-25. Without it, 25-75. Okay, to me that seems really, really good. Low pockets, we have now the bottom pairs. Let's see the bottom pairs specifically. This video is going to be longer than the others, but that's because there's a lot to cover. So I apologize for that. We're 26 minutes in already, and we still haven't covered the most important board textures, the ones that we're going to see the most often. But it is what it is. Sometimes we have to devote time to study, right? So low pockets, also low pair, the bottom pair. The bottom pair, take a look at that. Ooh, 50, sweet 50-50. Sweet 50-50 heuristic for us, bottom pair. I want to filter for bottom pair without draws and with the draw to make it even more precise, okay? Yeah, so unfortunately, I cannot filter for the bottom pairs with a flush draw and bottom pairs without a flush draw, but I'm pretty sure there's a difference. So if globally they're 50-50, I'm going to go ahead and say that bottom pair plus flush draw, you should play 75-25. And then bottom pair plus backdoor flush draw, you should play 50-50. And bottom pair without any draw, you should play 25-75. Okay, I think that's a very good heuristic here because there is a difference. We can't say that there isn't here. There is a difference. For example, if you take a look at Ace Jack 5 Rainbow, we're going to see that 7-5 with the backdoor flush draw bets more than without it. 6-5 with the backdoor flush draw bets more than without it. 5-4 with the backdoor flush draw bets more than without it, right? So I think it's pretty clear that we have to make this distinction. Let's say we have Queen 10-5 two-tone. Queen 10-5 two-tone. We saw that, 6-5 with the flush draw bets way more often than 5x without the flush draw, right? So I think making a distinction is real nice, is going to make your strategy very, very precise. Okay, so with the flush draw, 75-25, with the backdoor flush draw, 50-50, with a bottom pair without any draw, 25-75, I think is really good. Cool. Lastly, we have to talk about the draws. We didn't cover the draws yet. The draws, and then later we're going to cover, lastly, the airs. So the draws 68-32. Still have to check decent amount of the draws here, huh? Have to check a decent amount of the draws here. This is something that humans are surely not very good at. To take the open-ended here and check behind. Not many people are ready for that. To take the king 3 flush draw and check back. To take the king jack here and check back. Not many people are ready to do that. Take the jack 10 and check back, but it is part of the equilibrium. Checking 32%. You guys saw in the pillars of GTO strategy, we have to slow play with our draws. Lastly, let's take a look at no over, no backdoor flush draw. Complete trash. Take a look at that. Complete trash. No over, no backdoor flush draw. We bet 34.66. Take a look at that, my friends. 34.66. We're betting with those hands. Complete trash, and we have to do it. So 5-4 of hearts, 5-4 of clubs, 10-8 of spades, king 8. So actually here we need to make a distinction between suited trash hands and offsuit trash hands because this is going to impact the frequencies. So let's go to pre-flop. Let's see suited hands first. So suited trash, 30-70. So suited trash, 30-70. This is an important distinction here that we have to make. Okay, because when you have the backdoor flush draw with an offsuit hand, it obviously makes a difference. So suited trash is just about these hands here that have absolutely nothing going on for them. Absolutely nothing. So 5-4 of hearts on ace 10 9, 2 don't. King 3 of hearts on ace 10 7, 7 5 of hearts on ace 10 9, jack 5 of clubs on ace 10 9. Okay, just complete garbage hands. Queen 3 of hearts on ace jack deuce, 10 9, 8 7 of clubs on ace jack deuce. Okay, so those hands, take a look at that. Those hands, pay attention. Those hands are still betting 30% of the time. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful that we're betting so much with those suited trash? So suited trash, you can see here 30-70. Now, what about offsuit trash? Offsuit trash, we're gonna have to filter. With the offsuit hands, he goes up. He goes to 40-60. And I would imagine that if we went deeper on it, pretty much all of the hands that are going to bet here, most of the hands that are going to bet here, they have some kind of backdoor flush. They have the backdoor flush draw, right? So here it has it, doesn't have it, but then has it, has it, has it, has it, has it, has it, has it. No, doesn't have it. Has it, has it, has it, doesn't have it, has it, doesn't have it, doesn't have it, doesn't have it, has 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 it. So for sure, having the backdoor flush draw is much higher frequency than not having it. So let's make the distinction as well. Offsuit trash with backdoor flush draw is one frequency. Offsuit trash without backdoor flush draw is another frequency. And then, unfortunately, we don't have the filters here. We have to eyeball a little bit with that. Let's see, ace, king, 9, 2-tone. Ace, king, 9, 2-tone. Take a look at queen 9 off with the spade, queen 9 off without a spade. If we have a spade, take a look at that. It's like 50-50 almost. 50-50, a bit more than 50-50. Take a look at the 10-8. So 10-8, jack 8, those have backdoor straight draw. Backdoor straight draw and backdoor flush draw. So they're like 50-50. And then without a spade, we have like 20%. 20, 20, 20. Yeah, so we're getting to something here. Ace, king, 9, ace, king, 3. Let's see. With a diamond. Queen 9, jack 9, super high frequency. 50, 60, 60, 70. Super high frequency. Without a diamond, queen 9 pure checks, jack 9 13%, 20%, 7% overall. Let's see one more. The king jack 7. King jack 7, almost everything is gonna have a draw. But we could take a look at the ace x offsuit. The ace x with the diamond, almost pure betting. The ace x without a diamond, betting much less. So for sure, there is a difference here. We saw that the ones that have it, it's substantially high frequency. I would say something like 60-40 bucket for those boards. But then if you don't have it, it's like 20-80. Something like this would be my best guess to hand class frequency heuristic for these boards. Okay, whew. So much that we had to cover for these boards. Yeah, they're complicated boards to play. They are complicated boards to play. Quite a lot of different hand class frequency heuristics. Okay, but we covered them, and now it's time to move on. Time to move on to the boards where we're going to, let's focus now on the boards where we bet 30% pot. So basically we have these boards. Then let's filter for the boards that we don't want those now. And let's see what we come up with after that. After that, we see, yeah, we filtered out a lot of those, but we still need to filter out a little bit more. So let me try and filter out those a little bit more. Yes, after a long time, a lot of work, I was able to filter out the boards where we size up for the most part and get left with only the boards or most of the boards that we're going to be c-betting small so that we can see the hand class frequency heuristics for these boards, right? So let's just copy what we did for the 1.2x pot boards. And we're going to put it here, 30% c-bet. So in the 30% c-bet boards, we're c-betting around 69% of the time. Pretty cool. And this is going to include high card rainbow boards, right? In fact, might be, yeah, we can see it like this. This is going to include like high rainbow boards. High rainbow boards is going to be by far the most frequent one of those, right? High rainbow boards are going to be the ones that we're going to see the most in the circumstance. We're going to have a bunch of ace high boards, high two-tone boards, going to be c-betting small quite a lot. So we're going to have those typical boards. Of course, that, for example, if I filter for high rainbow amongst these, our betting frequency shoots up to 76%, right? If I go to high two-tone, our betting frequency goes down to 60%. And if I go to the lower ones, low rainbow, 71%, and low two-tone is going to be less. Low two-tone, we're going to have 63%. Okay, so these things you probably already knew. Let's talk about the ones that can actually put you in trouble with regards to constructing your c-bet strategy, which are the two-tone boards, the rainbow boards. You know, we just filter here that low rainbow, high rainbow. You're going to be c-betting 75% of the time. A lot of those you can even simplify towards a range bet if you want, right? If you want to simplify towards a range bet, it's not like you're going to lose much EV at all. So on those rainbow boards, c-betting strategies are much easier. It's hard for you to fuck up. So let's divide this on rainbow boards and also two-tone boards. So the two-tone boards are the ones that I think are the most difficult. So we're going to have one section for the two-tone boards and one section for the rainbow boards. So 30% c-bet two-tone boards, we're going to have one section, and 30% c-bet rainbow boards, we're going to have another section. So let's start with the two-tone boards. So we filtered for the two-tone boards, and now we're going to dig deep on the hand class frequency heuristics. Let's start with the 2-pair plus. And this time we can do it a bit quicker because you guys have already seen the process. So 2-pair plus, what's the bucket? 88. So 88.12 for our 2-pair plus. Let's take a look at top pair good kicker. Top pair good kicker 80.20. Let's put over pair together with that to compare to the previous ones that we used. 81.19. Okay. Now we can say 80.20. That's totally fine. 80.20. What about top pair weak kicker? Top pair weak kicker has to be lower, right? Top pair weak kicker 55.45. Even a bit more than before. And then we have middle pair. Middle pair was not betting much on the polarizing boards, but now that we are depolarizing, we're going to have quite a lot more bets with middle pair. So before middle pair was 25.75. Now we have pretty much 50-50 split. Let's make our lives easier. 50-50 split with our middle pairs on those two-tone boards where we bet small. Then we're going to have a region of low pockets and low pair. Low pockets and low pair, also 50-50. Here I'm putting them all together because the fact that we're depolarizing makes us not necessarily interested in going super deep here. So 50-50 with the low pairs and low pockets. Now, the things where you guys are probably going to make the most mistakes, the draws, flush draws, and open-endeds. 75-25. So the draws, we bet more often here compared to the boards where we're polarizing, right? Draw 75-25. Let's take a look now at the trash. No over, no backdoor flush draw. Let's see, complete trash 52-48. So trash, no pair, no draw. 50-50 split. Lastly, we should talk about ace highs, right? Ace high, high kicker. What do we do with ace highs in these spots? 50-50. Ace high, high kicker, 50-50 split. And then we can take a look at ace high. Oops, no, I should have ace high, high kicker. Yeah, 50-50 split. Ace high, medium, and low kickers. We're gonna bet more, I would imagine. No, also 53. Interesting. Let's see, low kicker, 64. Okay. So ace high, medium kicker. Something like, well, let's do that again to make sure. High kickers, something like 60-40. So high kickers, 60-40. Medium kickers. This is a very high level of precision. Eh? Medium kickers, 40-60. So we're checking more of the medium kickers. This is something you can see in the solver simulations if you look at it. And then 60-40 again for the low kickers. Okay, so this is what we came up with. 2-pair plus, pretty much the same as before, 90-20 split. Top pair good kicker, 80-20. Here was 90-10, so very similar once again. Top pair with kicker, now we see a substantial difference compared to the polarizing boards. Top pair with kicker, here was 40-60. We're checking 60% of our top pair with kickers. Now we're checking only 45%. So we're checking less of our top pair with kickers. And of course, it makes sense. We're depolarizing our betting range. Middle pair here, it was very low, only 25% of the time. Here we have 50-50 split. Low pair, low pockets, 50-50. Draws 75 as compared to here when we were polarizing our betting range. It was 68-32. So a bit more betting with the draws. No pair, no draw, 50-50. So with the trash, 50-50. Here we had, some trash. So the trash 30, trash with vector flush draw 60, without it 20. And here we're just bucketing the trash all together. And then ace highs with good kickers 60-40, ace high medium kickers 40-60, ace high low kicker 60-40. And now let's finish it up by doing the same for the boards that are rainbow. For the boards that are rainbow, this is what we're going to have. Let's start again with the 2-pair plus. 2-pair plus on those types of boards, 94.6.5. So basically, pure bet on the boards where we're going to be sizing small and they are rainbow. Just pure bet your 2-pair plus. No need to slow play. Top pair good kicker. We're going to have a 93.6.7. So also pretty much pure betting those. Top pair weak kicker. Now we see something 70-30. So top pair weak kicker, we start to have some proper mixed strategies, 70-30. With middle pairs, we're going to have 70-30 as well. So very different from the two-tone boards. Low pair, low pockets. We're going to have 70-30 as well. Very interesting. The draws. Let's put gut shots along. 80-20, almost like 90-10. A little bit of checking with the draws. Let's see, no pair, no draw. No pair, no draw, 60-40. So that's interesting. No pair, no draw, 60-40. If we have only a backdoor flush draw, 70-30. So if you have the backdoor flush draw, it goes up to 70-30. Complete. So no over trash, 60-40. No over with backdoor flush draw, it's 70-30. A small difference there in terms of the betting frequency. 1 over trash, 90-10. And 1 over backdoor flush draw, 90-10 as well. So this is what we came up with after our investigations. So compared to the two-tone boards, look at what happens. On the rainbow boards, we're just fast playing our strong hands. So instead of having a little bit of checks with two pair plus and top pair good kickers, we're just pure betting those. Instead of checking 45% of our top pairs with kickers, we're checking only 30%. Instead of checking half of our middle pairs, we're checking only 30% here. Our low pairs and low pockets, same thing. Instead of 50-50, we're doing 70-30. Our draws, we're betting more, 75-25 to 90-30. And our trash, we're also betting more, 60-40, 70-30, 90-10. We're just betting more all of the hand classes, which makes perfect sense and should be expected, right? So I'm going to put these notes here in the bottom of this class so that you can review those notes, and you have to keep reviewing this, okay? You can't expect to just watch this an hour-long video and then memorize all of these buckets. I'm actually going to simplify those notes to the buckets that I recommend you use in game. For this, we're probably going to have to do the 20, 40, 60, 80 buckets so that we can be precise with our frequencies here. And then you're going to be able to use those in game. All right. This is it for this video. I see you in the next one.